Sunfoil, the official sponsor of Chalo Let Cook.
Out of hundreds of nationwide culinary hopefuls, we have sliced it down to a handful of aspiring home cooks that will compete in SA's first ever halal cooking competition. 65,000 Rand worth of prizes are up for grabs as things are about to get extra heated.
My body was tensing up, my stomach was like knotted.
And extra spicy.
I don't know how to spell loser.
Chalo, let's cook with Sunfoil.
Today I'm at the Chalo Let's Cook semi-finals and I'm so excited because I get to set the dessert challenge. And for today's challenge, I'm really going to be throwing our contestants into the deep. I'm going to ask them to recreate my favorite candy bar, the Raffaello. So today we're going to have a roasted white chocolate brownie, a beautiful coconut ganache, some coconut shavings, Swiss meringue, and some very fancy coconut milk caviar. So come on, let me show you how to plate this. We begin by placing our isomalt shards onto our plate. And this is a really fun process because you cook down your raw isomalt sugar and you then drape the melted sugar over a silpat mat and you allow it to create these beautiful long drips of sugar which then hardens, and then you're left with something really, really pretty. With regards to our white chocolate brownie, the trick here is to roast your chocolate. It usually takes about 30 minutes, but we're going to hack it a little bit and we just want our chocolate just to get a beautiful caramelization. Melt it down with your butter, fold in all your dry ingredients and pop it into the oven to get a perfectly cakey and fudgy center. The most fun thing about this dessert is making the coconut milk caviar. So what we do here is we take our coconut milk, we heat it with some agar, and we let it simmer for a little bit, and then we put it into a syringe or a dropper, and we drop it into ice cold oil. And the result is this beautiful coconut caviar. It's really beautiful, and I've kept the flavor very simple. I haven't added any sugar to this because I wanted you to really get that coconut milk taste, which I think adds to the overall dish because your chocolate brownie is then really sweet. And we've got coconut ganache as well, which is made with your coconut cream and white chocolate. So you get white chocolate throughout, you get coconut throughout as well. This is also inspired by Chalo's Raffaello soji, which is something I absolutely love. I'm so fan of her sojis and everything else that she cooks. Been a very big inspiration to me. So I'm really honored to be here setting this challenge here with her today. Let's do this. So I've basically just piped my Swiss meringue onto my cooled white chocolate brownie, and I'm going to place it onto my oven tray like this. And I'm now going to place it into the oven and I'm going to grill it because I want that toasted marshmallow flavor to come through. Bismillah. And we're basically going to leave it for a few minutes on grill. You have to watch this very, very carefully. So because we're not using a blowtorch, you have to be able to see the color change as it happens. We don't want to burn it. So it's been just under a few minutes. I put my oven tray very close to the grill because I wanted to actually get a very nice char grilled toasted marshmallow effect. And this is pretty much what we're left with. And now we can plate. So I'm actually going to start with my marshmallow, my brownie, and I'm going to put it onto my plate, onto my rice malt. And then I'm going to drizzle a little bit of our coconut ganache. So I'm just putting a few globs of the coconut ganache. And then I'm going to just drizzle a little bit on top. I'm going in with some coconut shavings. I just toasted it for a few seconds on high heat. You can use an oven as well. I just love that it adds a little bit of color to it, and it also adds a little bit of a nutty aroma. And it complements the toasted marshmallow as well. I really like using the coconut shavings instead of desiccated coconut because you get these very beautiful shapes that you can use, which adds to your plating. So you've got your height, you've got your texture, you've got something creamy, something gooey, something crunchy. Okay, and I'm now going to very generously scatter my coconut balls. I really love the plating of this dessert because I feel that the isomalt sails give it a very coral reef effect, and then you've got these beautiful pearls or caviar. So it gives a very like oceanic theme to it, which I think is really cool. We are topping off now with some edible flowers, just to add a little bit of color. If you know me, you know I'm all about drama and theatrics, and a dessert like this wouldn't be complete without that final bomb element. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some dry ice, we're gonna put it at the base of this first dish, add some boiling water and get beautiful vapor. And that will totally complete our Raffaello or roasted chocolate and coconut dessert. Watch the magic happen.
When I walked in, I won't lie with you, today was one of my very nervous days. I had some sort of inclination. This is not going to be a normal cooking round. It's going to be one challenge.
Bonjour du matin. Aujourd'hui, nous sommes avec une très très belle chérie, Nasreen Chamda. Welcome to the semi-final of Chalo Let's Cook. Today, you are fighting for a spot in the final. One of you will go straight through to join Tasneem, while two of you will go home.
It was intense, and when you saw all the ingredients put out, you knew there was a recipe coming.
Nasreen was the runner-up of the South African Bakeoff, and she's the queen of patissier. I have never met anyone more talented than her in the field of pastry, in everything, mashallah. And she's a close sister. She's a close friend to my heart.
Yes, absolutely.
Always supportive, alhamdulillah. And today she's going to show you what you're going to make.
So guys, thank you so much for having me here today. It's an absolute honor to be standing here in front of you. So well done and congratulations for making it this far. As you know, and as Tasneem has said, I love to make things that are very fun, very out of the box, very tricky. So today's challenge is going to be nothing short of dramatic. Are you ready to see the big reveal? I present to you white chocolate.
In that moment, I couldn't. I was just like, should I cry now? Should I at least try it and then cry, or what? It just looked impossible. Like, it looked so good, and I was like, there's no way I can do this. No way.
So ladies, what we have in front of you here are beautifully shaped isomalt sails. We've got a roasted white chocolate brownie topped with Swiss meringue. We've got beautiful coconut milk caviar and a decadent coconut and white chocolate ganache. Have fun. This is a tricky challenge. You do have a time limit, so please work fast, work smart, and try to get everything on the plate. But most importantly, have fun.
It was dessert, and Nasreen Chamda set a very high standard of what she expected of us, and it looked very gourmet. And I thought to myself, how are we going to do it?
You have 1.5 hours to complete your challenge. All your ingredients have been measured out. You even have a recipe, thanks to Nasreen for being so kind-hearted. All I can say is time yourself well, and as Nasreen said, have fun. Kom ons kook. 1, 2, 3.
Time to begin.
I'm feeling very stressed and a bit overwhelmed because I don't know how to bake. I've never baked before, but I'm just hoping for the best. So they cook really well. I think I was really worried about this, Amina. I have no experience in baking, not strong. But I'll just hope for the best and see what happens.
There's pressure because we're following somebody top, but I'm hoping I can get it. There is a recipe, which makes it a bit simpler. Well, when it comes to cooking and baking, there's a difference. When it comes to cooking, you can always add in extras and it can still come out right, but baking doesn't end up the same because it looks so fancy. So following a recipe, I'm fairly good. But like I said, baking, any step wrong can ruin the whole dish.
Okay, a new challenge to follow a recipe. And it was 4 different steps, 4 different components to put together and make it look to as close as what she had made. Very difficult to keep up to Nasreen Chamda's name. but we're going to try.
So what do we have going on here?
I'm still busy with the cake batter.
Okay.
I got the meringue going. The ganache is in the fridge. The ganache went off well because that's something I do with cake. Meringue I don't do.
Okay, but don't leave your meringue over boiling water. Your eggs are gonna cook further and you don't want that. So take that out and put it into your mixer immediately and get the mixer on. You bloom your gelatine.
Yeah.
You water first.
Yeah.
Now you want it to dissolve, honestly. Once it's dissolved, it's gonna start cooling once you take it off.
Yeah.
That's when you need to get your oil out. Right? You don't want this to get too cold because you don't want it to be boiling hot either.
Yeah, we're going to just cool it down.
Just cool it down slightly and watch the magic happen.
That I followed exactly per recipe.
No, you got it. So let's just go through our checklist, right?
Okay.
Your brownie batter is done and your brownies are in.
Right.
Right. Chocolate ganache is made.
Ready.
Done.
Done.
Right?
Meringue's done.
Meringue's done.
Hopefully the tapioca.
I attempted the brownie twice.
I don't know what happened here.
Faster.
Try, you still have time. Why don't you try and make another batch?
I ate this.
Looks a bit soft, too.
Let's try it.
Not too runny.
Yeah, so I just followed instructions.
No, it's fine.
That's definitely not working. I was very stressed, and when I put in the second batch, I had to basically bake it till the end because there wasn't much time left.
So Amina is about to start her caviar process and we are using Sunfoil oil. It's absolutely the perfect oil to use. The oil's basically been sitting in the fridge overnight, so you want it to be really, really chilled and cold. And she's got her coconut milk mixture ready and she's going to start dropping. So you're going to be very careful. You want to do one droplet at a time. There we go. Carry on moving. All the caviar is starting to drop. What a beautiful sight, right?
It's perfect. Absolutely
So pretty.
Every part of the dish, from browning the chocolate to the isomel, caviars, I've never known none of the skills before that. So from today, I'm glad that I learned a lot.
I think you should do that.
Yeah.
They are fine.
They seem okay.
Not the shape that I like, but
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
Take it
matter.
out of your, you can take it out of the cupcake mold and cut it up for your oil.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're using
So
a
it's
glass.
quite
Nice and firm.
Look, I put it in your mixer. We want to mix it.
I rushed it. And obviously there's no going back because we were just given that amount of ingredients.
No, clean that one up first because that's how cooked.
We're watching you.
Take the one behind you.
I didn't read the finer details which said put it on a double boiler and then beat. I started to beat it first. That's why it didn't hold its peaks.
I was like in tears. My eyes, I could feel it. My body was tensing up. My stomach was like knotted. I'm like, this isn't for me. This is definitely not for me because I know that I'm not a good baker. Well, I feel I'm not a good baker. But this was my actual first attempt at baking from scratch. I felt like I started off slow
Let's see a
because I
test.
was kind of clueless.
So the test is to see if the meringue drops. And it's done. That's the meringue test. Like, look. See,
It's not gonna drop. Okay. Imagine if it wasn't done. I was looking around. Everyone was like on the move, doing their thing. I thought they had it all together.
It's just really pretty. I love the fact that she qualifies them all.
Different. That's Auntie Zabi's personality. Chocolate.
She knows, full of color.
Have to be different.
But I love that because everything on this plate, the color plate, I love that. I think everything's come together so beautiful with the oil and
Gorgeous.
the butter, wooden spoon, sunfoil.
Gorgeous. And Auntie Zabi's plate is more generous. That's always
Yes.
her plating.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you know,
Always likes to give a lot more. Even
lot.
with her personality, she's always
Giving you more.
today, looking at my presentation, I wasn't one of the happiest.
mashallah. You know her plates, her technique for plating is amazing.
What stands out to me the most is her caviar.
They're absolutely perfectly shaped. Perfectly shaped. She did it, and she did it in very good timing as well. Yeah.
10, 9,
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
time's up.
Time's up. Step away from your stations. S'il vous plaît.
Ladies, I'd just like to say firstly, congratulations and well done on completing that challenge. I'm really, really proud of you. You managed to complete every element on your recipe and you have created masterpieces for us. So I am with two esteemed judges here today, Chef Fakki and Chef Jaffer. We are going to go ahead and start tasting yours.
I was happy about how it looked, although the flowers looked like they were dying a bit.
So what was the most difficult thing you found most difficult about the dish to execute?
Actually, the simplest part became the difficult part for me. But I won't tell you where I failed.
Okay.
And I think I'm grateful for all the skill I've learned today.
So well done, Amina. We're really proud of you. And I think we are going to taste.
Yes.
Yes, can we dig in?
Sure.
Your caviar looks perfect there, I'm not gonna lie.
Better than mine.
Dare I say better than Nasreen's.
Definitely better than mine. Definitely.
It's a compliment.
Also, your brownie has a nice texture. It's not very cakey.
Smudgy.
I'm finding the meringue is a bit...
Yeah. It needed to maybe be a little bit more charred.
Most of it was positive. It's just that they said the meringue wasn't torched very well. And that I did with lighter.
I think it's just also for me that the meringue is being a bit too sweet, a little bit, you know what I mean? But other than that, everything else is, for me, on the plate, it's very similar
Brownie
to
has a
Nasreen's
nice
dish.
texture, beautiful flavor.
Mashallah, well done.
I feel good. And I'll never take up baking. Absolutely. But yeah, I'm proud that I came this far. I'm very happy with the outcome. A little disappointed that it didn't come out as planned. But yeah, I think I gave too much concentration on the actual brownie, which I'm very happy with. And yeah, the tapioca pearls took shape when I made. And I don't know where they got incorporated in there amongst there somewhere. And the plating.
And what did you have the most fun making today?
The ganache was a challenge. I loved it. Anything sweet. And yeah, the bowl, the glass bowl made by me.
Okay, so with the brownie, I feel that it's very chewy. There's also a lot of like burnt or more crystallized pieces.
I actually like the flavor of this brownie. I think that leaving the butter on for as long as you did gave it more of a burnt butter flavor, which added to the overall flavor profile of the brownie. So I'm actually enjoying that.
The meringue didn't hold its shape, right?
Yeah.
Again, I think it's the same thing. It's just a bit too sweet for me, whereas Nasreen's dish was more well balanced. The ganache is nice. I did taste a bit of it. It's not bad at all. Unfortunately, like you said, you made the pearls, but they didn't hold their shape, and we can't really see, so we're not getting that
yeah.
softness of the coconut
That would have
coming
cut
through. You know
the
what I mean?
sweetness of-
When we did first presentations and the hot ice, I don't know if that could be the reason why my caviars ran away, but I'll still be wondering all my life where it went.
Jazakallah.
Even though throughout the process I thought that it's just a flop, the final thing looked presentable, so I wasn't that worried. The only thing I was like really stressing about was the texture of my brownie.
You also put up every element on the dish. It looks beautiful. Like I want to dig in. I want to see what's underneath it. Your pearls also formed beautifully. Your meringue is holding its shape. I know you did put your meringue in the oven to toast it a bit.
Everyone else, after their meringues, we were supposed to put it back in the oven and then let it just like brown and crisp on the top, and it also gives it a different flavor compared to when you just use a lighter. So I think that was the difference between all our meringues. I put mine in the oven and others used a lighter.
So I'm actually liking the taste of your brownie.
Yeah, me too.
It's got a very, very nice flavor to it. Like a nice burst. Your meringue, I think, is done quite well as
Also,
well.
your texture of your brownie is excellent.
The fudginess.
Yeah. The coconut also is toasted. I think maybe if you toast it just a little bit more, I think well done. Considering that you were very
Nervous about it.
nervous to do this because baking is not your sort of forte as well.
First effort, this is really impressive.
Well done, mashallah. I think you did it spot on. I really do like the flavor of this.
Yeah, you want to keep on going back for more,
Keep on
right?
going back for more.
It is very nice.
Mashallah, well done.
Ladies, thank you so much. The judges and I were absolutely delighted to taste what you put up for us today. We are now going to confer our scoring and our decisions. So I'm going to ask you to please leave the room.
First one was Amina's dish.
Yeah. What did you guys think?
So I think it was well set out. Only thing I found that the meringue didn't hold its shape. It wasn't toasted. It was just piped on, and that was very sweet because it wasn't.
Yes.
It didn't have that like flavor.
It comes when you toast it.
Same thing with the meringue, but I think the rest of the elements she nailed them quite well.
Yes,
I mean, the
yes.
pearls
Pearls were
came out
beautiful.
perfectly. It had a good texture. The coconut flavor came through very, very nicely. The toasted coconut also I found was.
I think she's taking
She
it to
toasted it
the
a bit
right level.
more. It was a bit compared to the others. That the flavor came through when you eat it all together. Okay, so for me, the dish, from a plating perspective, it just didn't look appealing compared to the others. It was a bit too busy. I mean, kudos to her for using color in it, but
color, yeah.
everything sort of collapsed. It looked like everything just fell down into the center. The meringue didn't really hold its shape. The piece of the brownie I tasted, it wasn't the hard side piece, was actually quite nice. I think this just wasn't.
I also found
a
it
dish.
really sweet because like the meringue was like all over instead of just peaks.
Where it needed to be strategically placed so that you
Yeah.
get a well-balanced dish.
I found it was very sweet.
Sophia, considering how nervous she was about doing this, and she said baking is not her thing, she was really stressing initially. I actually think she pulled it off quite well. She
I
had all her
found
elements on.
Yeah, and it was closest to yours. Like I'm saying, I never got the coconut flavor in any of them like I got on yours. I was trying to look for it.
If I tell you, if you had to see her in the kitchen, I honestly thought she wasn't going to plate up because she just seemed to be having such a challenging time. But I think she found her zen and she started calming down and she started really focusing. And I think once she found that space, she was able to put things together really nicely.
I was super worried, but I hyped myself up outside. I was like, okay, I'm going home. It's okay. Everything's fine.
Ladies, congratulations. You've just completed one of the most difficult challenges of this cook-off. Unfortunately, it's au revoir for two of you and continue for one of you. The person that's going through to the Chalo Let's Cook final is none other than Sophia. Well done.
I was shocked. I was like, wow, okay, that's nice.
It was quite close. It came down to taste. For Zaybun and Amina, thank you for showing us your skill, your talent, your time, and for giving off the very best. This is just the beginning for both of you.
I'm happy for Sophia that came through, and I'm happy that I've learned what I've learned and been with everybody else because I'm a stay-at-home mommy. So I'm happy that I could get up early and come out here.
I was sad, but also happy for the ones that went through. And hopefully they go through and make a success out of it, and the best one wins.
Sunfoil, the official sponsor of Chalo Let's Cook.